The city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild CenturyLink field. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the New England Patriots. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
His first carry, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Michel. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Newton. And he'll have his man, that's Edelman. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Down Patriots.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Michel. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 46-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton to Michel on the screen. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Play fake to Michel, now Newton. He's got him in, complete. It's Julian Edelman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
A gain of 7.
Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
11 on the play.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On the ground is Michelle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action and hit them over the top.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Sacked right around the 17. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. They moved the ball pretty well there on the opening drive. You think they're okay settling for 3?
I don't think they're happy about settling for 3, but I think you're exactly right with the word okay, because they threw it well, they ran it well. Excellent balance for the first drive of the game.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 21. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
They run it with Carson. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Patriots 3, Seahawks nothing.
From the 39, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. This is Carson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Tackle. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and
first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro Stephon Gilmore. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6.
The kick is good.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And it hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now it's Carson, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Patriots take over.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. They run the draw play. This is White. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
New England ball carrier.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
At the 43.
It's a first down following a gain of 3. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Off the draw, here's Michel. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 9. First down, New England.
Sony Michel comes out of a long line of terrific running backs from the University of Georgia and was a first-round selection for New England in 2018. He does not mind carrying the football, never turns down an opportunity. Top 10 in rushing attempts in the league in 2019.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll try the air now with Newton. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
29 yards.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
2 yards.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
2nd and 8. On the draw, here's White. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Newton. Forced out to his left. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And they will run it with Michel. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Rosas' kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
A big play that time for the Seahawks. 67 yards on the ground.
At the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, this is Michel. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And it's Michel once again. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 44. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run on first down. Michel, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. The rookie Jordan Brooks picks it off. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
He's going to air it out for Dorsett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Intercepted.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Taken down at the 22-yard line.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Throwing on third down, Newton. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
Patriots.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Michel. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal
A 52-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a two-score game, his third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
For the extra point.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will make it into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Michel found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And it's 3rd down.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And spins away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
1 yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
30-yard line.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. And that will be incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this when I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check back 21. One left. Check back 21. Get ready.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, and now it's 1st and 10. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this a quick slant to Lockett. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Throwing now is Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
And they're going to try to eat some clock with Michel. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It was Jamal Adams up from his safety spot to make the play behind the line. And behind the chain, 2nd and 13. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
4th down.
The Patriots send out their punter. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. That's complete. It's Carson out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
On 1st down, Carson. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2nd and 7 operating from the 34.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And his kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Demir Bird returning it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On the ground, Michel. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to him.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body, because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time, and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the West.
On 2nd down, Michel. Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it, and he brings it back to the house. It's a touchdown, and in a crazy inning, a defensive score wins it.
22.
Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for New England, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a trip to Vegas next week for a date with the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.